You're good.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, what am I, Joey? The Senior Stock Market Strategist? Yeah, that's what I am. Senior Stock
Thank
Market Strategist. I need the mouse for a second. Let me just clear some stuff up over here. Welcome. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. I had a very eventful weekend, not in a good way. Another story for another time. But glad you're here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Glenn and Ryan, getting to talk to you both at the Roadshow in Charlotte this past at the VIP experience and getting to meet and talk with other Factor subscribers was awesome. I'm still glad. I'm still on a little bit of a high on the Roadshow that we did. So, man, oh man, hopefully we get to do it again. And when we do, you'll know what you missed out on the last time and you don't want to do it again. When will you do another video on Senseonics? Let me write that down. Senseonics. I don't know what's going on with them right now. I haven't looked at them yet recently. So, Marcus, let me check and see what's going on. If there's something going on, I'll do a story. If there's not anything going on, I won't do a story. All right? So I'll put that out there. VV Nation from sunny beaches and white sands of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Well, I'm glad you're tuning in while you're in Mexico, Blaine. You know, I love that stuff. I love to hear when you guys are checking in from out of the country. All right. So we got 95 people here. I'm wondering if the alert hit. Market's wicky-wacky today. We're going to pay attention to see what's going on. What's up, Smack This? We all want to know who got the extra wine to take home. That would be Joey. Joey got all that extra. Man, that wine was no joke. Joey, that wine was no joke. And it was exclusive wine that you can't just pick up anywhere. All right? And that was the cool thing about it. But all the extra wine, Joey got it all. All right. Oh, the alert just hit. Yeah, we got 135. Hopefully we get more people coming in as well. First live stream of the week. Ryan already did the first short of the week talking about big news. A lot of big companies reporting earnings this week. We're going to take a look at them here as well. But, man, gold is moving again. Yes, it is. Ryan and I both were under the notion, that gold was pretty much done. But what I did say, if you do take gold stocks, make sure you pick and choose. Be picky about which gold stocks you want. Now the market is getting back into more tariff uncertainty. A lot of news came out this week about 100% tariff on movies made outside of the country. What is that? All right, still no deal with China. Still no news about any specific deals that have been done. So the uncertainty is still rearing its ugly head. All right, uncertainty is still rearing its ugly head. Recession noise and talk about recession is still out there itself. I'm just saying. Gold is on the move again. We're going to take a look at some gold stocks, see if it's worth it. So let's just keep on moving on. Mixed day. As you can clearly see, the Dow is up. The NASDAQ is down. The S&P is down. The composite is down. We got another green light in the color guard column as well. Color guard price column. The predominant color you see is yellow. I'm going to bring us into the software. And no matter what's being said, all that kind of stuff, where are we? The market or the VVC is still in an uptrend. A lot of yellow, so I'm still going to say be cautious. But the market, that's the composite right there. The movement of over 9,000 stocks in this indicator right here, still in an uptrend. We needed to break through this level of resistance for me to say that the market still has legs. Currently, the market still has legs. Trend is in place. Keep your eyes on the trend. I'm currently up 593% on Palantir. I'm back in Palantir. I made my percentage. I'm in it. I'm up like 50% on it as well currently. And Palantir earnings comes out tonight. I am probably going to be one of the few people in the world who's going to hold through earnings. All right, I'm not going to be afraid to say it. I'm going to hold through earnings. I'm not telling anybody out there to do that in themselves because anything can happen. It could be the guidance. I don't see anything negative as far as guidance on the horizon, but I'm not the one sitting in that room giving the report. All right, because of that, I'm gonna say Keith says I'm holding G. I am holding. I'm gonna hold. All right, but I'm not going to tell everybody out there to do the same thing. You guys got to do your own homework and make your own decisions. I still like Palantir. I introduced you to Palantir a long time ago when it was below everybody's radar. All right. And man, it's just been a hell of a stock. I'm working on another couple of stocks like Palantir to bring to the table. I'm not ready to bring them to the table yet. I'm still doing some research on them. All right. So I got another couple of stocks on my radar that could be like Palantir. And Hims is on, does have earnings today. We're going to look at that, Mac Daddy. I'm holding Palantir calls and have no plans to bail on them. Up nice lately, and there's no reason to expect otherwise. Again, the only thing that's going to affect Palantir to the downside is if they've got negative guidance. I think they beat top and bottom line. I think they beat earnings. I think they beat revenues. All right. All I'm thinking about is what could hurt them is going to possibly be negative guidance going forward. So, all right. So with that being said, that's what's going on with the market. Again, keep your heads off the swivel. The market or the VVC or the looking at a group of over 9,500 stocks is saying that we're still in an uptrend right now. Again, with the uncertainty going on with tariffs, once again, gold it could be a possible way to go. As a matter of fact, let's stay right here. I'm gonna go see where do I have YouTube trending Thursday. Good. Let's go see if I can find a portfolio. There he goes. Gold stocks. Let's go take a look. If I look at the group of stocks, which is going to be at the bottom, there's 43 stocks in here. The group of stocks is showing me that the RVs are above 1, so that means that these stocks do have uptrend, that they have the ability to outpace the market. Safety is not there. Tells me that this group of stocks is more of an aggressive play. RT is above 1, and the VST is above 1. And if I sort this by percentage price change, which stocks are moving the most? Or moving high. There it is. GFI up 7%. Harmony was a stock that many of you guys were playing, up 6% today. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Hold on. Let's go to layout. What is this on? Yeah, I'm going to put this on 18. Make this a little bigger for you. You know, so I'm still mad at the people at the live event who were looking at the screen and nobody said, hey, make the type bigger. I was like, hey, Ryan, can you make the type bigger? And everybody was like, oh, yeah, Glenn, thanks for doing that. So I made it a little bigger, but gold is moving today. Any of these, out of the 40 stocks I'm looking at, only 2 stocks are negative. That's AG and Goro. But, man, gold is on the move today. Let's highlight the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go see what their graphs look like. This is a little off the beaten path that I wanted to do right now. That's a rebound. Look at that. GFI, look at the earnings, rising earnings. You know what I'd be looking for here? I'd look for trend. I don't quite have it yet. But that's my about 2546 is at 2280. Any one of these I like right now. Ooh, I do like Harmony. Look at the 3.8 went down, found a level of support, bouncing off support. Earnings per share long-term I like. 3-month graph, bottom left, top right. Undervalued, love the bounce off support. Harmony may not be a bad play. Look at that. Harmony may not be a bad play. Like the bounce, found support. 3 and the 8 haven't crossed, but that one I like. This one found a level of support right here. Little sideways move. Watch the 3 and the 8. Remember, I'm only looking at 5. NG, I'm not feeling nearly as much. Let's go see what's the next one. This is flat. So if I'm looking at these, what do I like? I like Harmony. I like the bounce off support on Harmony. I like GFI. Like the bounce off support, watching the 3 and the 8, but I got headwinds right here. Harmony really doesn't have headwinds until that level of resistance. All right, so gold is moving. I've given you a couple of stocks to keep on your radar. All right, giving you a couple of stocks to keep on your radar. All right, with that being said, let's go find my other list. Midday market update. There's the indices. But before we go to look at the indices, let's go look at what's going on in the news. All right. Let's go Alt Tab. Where's my news? All right. Let's peep the web stories. 5 things to watch in the market in this week ahead. We all know that the Fed's going to talk this week. Anybody thinks the Fed's going to cut? Yes or no? Anybody thinks the Fed's going to cut? Yes or no? Type it in the room. All right. I am of the mindset I do not believe the Fed is going to cut yet. All right. I don't think that we should get a cut at all, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to cut yet. All right, but that's gonna happen. All right, so one of the 5 things, there it is, the FOMC decision this week. Can I get rid of this? I can. The Reserve is expected to leave interest rates unchanged at its upcoming meeting this week. Ryan and I will be live when it comes on, like we do every time he comes on. All right, and that's all the story is talking about. Everything else is blah, 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 blah. All right, number 2, earnings ahead. Big names coming out this week. Ford, AMD, ConocoPhillips, Disney. Where's Jazz? Disney comes out this week. You know something? I still don't want to look at Disney. Now, Coinbase. Crypto's been on the move again. I think Coin will give some semblance of if crypto is really, 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 really on the rise again. Neil says has to cut. Ooh, he ain't got to do nothing. Glenn, business is frozen. Do you think GDP will be negative next quarter like this quarter or go up? Oh, that's a great question about GDP because, if we get it negative for the second time, we'll officially be in a recession by the general terms. Does GDP fall more? I got to think about that more. I got to do more research on that. My initial answer is it's already trending that way, even though it was slight. It's already trending that way. My initial answer is I think it does fall for a second quarter. All right, which would then put us in a recession. Why do I say that? Because most people will tell you we're already in a recession before the announcement that we're in a recession. Do you agree with that? We're normally already in a recession before the news says that we're in a recession. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Type of yes or no on that. So, but I still want to stick to the general terms of a recession. I think GDP goes down for a second quarter. I think the momentum is pointing that way. So we'll see. All right, so we'll see. All right, that's my initial, but that's not my official answer. That's my initial answer, not my official answer. ISM and PMI, the reading tip to show, and again, here's another one. This report talking about what the purchasing managers and stuff like that, what's going on, it went down a little lower. I think there's a lot of momentum overall economically, macroeconomically, that is pushing and showing that the economy is slowing. All right. And I think it's not just these reports. I think in general, we know that the economy is slowing. So outside of recession, I'm hearing a lot of terms being thrown around like stagflation. We don't want stagflation either. All right. The job market took a dip last week, but unemployment didn't rise. All right. Unemployment didn't really rise. Unemployment stayed steady, which means the workforce is still working. But also remember that there's a lot of jobs on the books because of severance packages that ain't going to come off. When they do, we're going to see an ugly number when it comes down to employment. And I think employment's going to take a big dive once those jobs come off the book. Usually the announcement of recession comes when we're already in a recession. And that was my question, Black Mamba. Glenn, what I hear is that many companies will wait it out than building anything here, hence slow growth. I think a lot of companies, there's a lot of talk. All right. There's talks that we're getting close to a deal with China. There's talks that we're making a lot of deals behind the background. There's talks of a lot of people promising money to the United States, but for, well, how long? Over the next 5 years. When do we actually see the benefit of these people pledging the money to the United States? It's great to hear it, but when does it really affect us? I'm hearing, no matter what, I'm hearing a lot of lip service. All right, whether I agree with it or not, I'm just telling you the facts. I'm hearing a lot of lip service, but I'm not seeing no action. All right. And do I think how I feel about the tariffs? I talked a little bit about that at the live event. I'm not going to do that here. How I feel about the tariffs. I've already done it once, and then it just went all crazy. And this is not the platform for that. But I hear a lot of lip service. I'm just not seeing anything yet. And until I do, all I can say is that it's a lot of lip service. All right? That's all I got to say about that. Well, when is Shopify? Shopify earnings is this week, Rajiv. We'll take a look at that in a second. All right, number 4, Trump trade developments in focus. Bessent to speak at Milken conference. The remarks set up by the Trump on Sunday that he had no plans. There it is. That he had no plans to speak to Chinese President Xi Jinping, although he noted that U.S. officials had been in contact with Beijing. A lot of conflicts of stories here, right? No, we're not talking, but we are talking. And I think that the market is reacting because I think that that's going to be, excuse me, I'm thinking that that's going to be the biggest catalyst that's going to rocket the market higher. Once we come down and say that we've got a deal with China, this market's going to take off like nobody's business. All right. The 5th thing, OPEC put out a whole bunch of oil. They are, look at that, agreed to raise output by 411,000 barrels per day. They're okay with oil being low. So now they're going to, what is it? Nearly 3 times the volume that was initially signaled, and we'll see a member states, Saudi Arabia and Russia, increase production. The prospect of higher supplies and tepid demand dented crude oil on Monday. Now, we're getting into the summer months. I think the demand is going to increase. I think that the travel season's coming up. I think the travel season's coming up. I think that we get to a point where the demand is going to increase. Is it going to increase to take up this extra 411,000 barrels per day? Probably not. All right, probably not. So it takes decades to build a manufacturing economy, building. And Chris is right. There's a lot of people talking about infrastructure, AI infrastructure money, bringing money back into the country as well. It's going to take a while. And again, it becomes lip service to me. OPEC is doing this to stop the restrict U.S. drilling. Something we're going to, if there's going to be a push of a lot of oil out there, there's not going to be a need for us to drill, baby, drill, right? Just think about that. There really isn't. Glenn, OPEC is doing this. I saw that precaution. So I don't know. Joey, why isn't the chat popping up on the screen? Didn't we do that? I thought we did that. It's not popping up. I didn't clear it. Oh, there it. All right. Did it pop up this time? There it is. All right. What happened? Did I not do something? I don't remember if I did or didn't.
Clicking at it. I'm not sure. I didn't do anything.
Okay. So I'm putting that up there so people can see this. This is oil wars. So, who's going to win the oil war? We got more oil than they got. We do have more oil than they got. Don't get it twisted. If we wanted to keep the price artificially low, we could drill, baby, drill and do that. But they're saying, screw that. We'll do it for you. We'll see how that works out. So those are 5 things to keep in mind for this week. Let me get through these rest real quick. Crude oil falls after OPEC agrees to surge production in June. We just talked about that. Big story, Berkshire Hathaway. Do you know that Warren Buffett is 94 years old? This is all. No, you have not. No, I have not. What, Neil? I'm not sure what you're saying. You said no one uses crude. What? I don't know what you said. 94 years old and stepping down. All right, and good for him. The board unanimously, all together said on Sunday to make Abel president and CEO on January 1st, 2026, and for Buffett to remain on as chairman. What's up, Troy? Our education system is already bad, getting worse with the Department of Education funding being slashed. We lack the talent pool required for these jobs returning here. Normally, we'd have H-1B visas to help. I hear you, Pennywise. Warren has been investing longer than all of us have been around, and you are right. You know this. You said new oil. What do you mean about new oil? You said that we don't have more oil than OPEC countries? Somebody back me up on that. We actually, if we drilled the way we could, somebody back me up on that. We've got more oil than the OPEC countries. Somebody either say yes or no. Man, now you're gonna make me go out there and type, who has the most oil in the world? Let's go see. Somebody said no. All right, let me peep this out. I'm doing a Wikipedia. All right, before I look like an idiot. It doesn't take much. Joey, don't say anything. Joey, don't say anything. U.S. BP. I don't know if this is right. United States 68. Wow. Maybe we don't. I'm going to do another story on this. Canada's got more than Iran and Iraq. I might have to do a story. It's about refinery capability. Glenn, if U.S. reduced corporate tax, just watch how many companies move to the U.S., including Apple. I might have to do a story on this, too. Who's got the most oil in the world? Country, where are we? Down here. Maybe I was wrong. OPEC, BP, EIA says, look at that, 267, 209. Where are we at? 74. I'm going to do a story on this soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. All right. Let's get back to Berkshire. All right, we did that already. Let's go look at Skechers. Skechers, if we drill, baby, drill, our reserves would be depleted in 10 to 15 years. Really? My point is you can spend and spend. Results won't change except for the level of stealing. If you guys are getting some conversations done, I like that. As I drink my coffee. Skechers to be acquired by 3G Capital and take them private. Shares short 25%. So Skechers is going to go away, and that's going to be that. The purchase price represents they got it for $63 per share, a 30% premium to Skechers' current valuation. Skechers is exposed to tariffs overseas, but 3G Capital isn't concerned about the impact the tariffs will have on the company for the long term. Example, MA has the best you talking about Massachusetts? Man, I'm not talking about education right now. Oh, Lord, I'm not doing that. All right, now I'm going to get into some defense-related stuff. NATO allies are said to be in talks to supply Ukraine with more Patriot missiles. You know, if Ukraine needs them, you know who else needs them? We need them. Raytheon is the name of the story here, is the primary contractor for Patriot system. So Ukraine's going to love that. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has underscored the urgency of the request, telling CBS News last month that his government is prepared to purchase up to 10 Patriot systems. That's going to be a lot of money, which are considered. Now, and the word here, purchase. We're not giving them money this time. We've given them a whole lot of freaking money. Say here. I'm okay with trying to help folks, but damn, we gave away a lot. But they're ready to purchase up to 10 Patriot systems. All right, so we'll see. Ukraine, and that's going to be good for Raytheon. But I got a couple of stocks in there. I got DFEN in there, and I've got a single leverage ETF that I want you to pay attention to. Another defense story. How about this? OPTT. You down with OPTT? Yeah, you know me. Ocean Power Technologies, OPTT. Pre-market on Monday was up over 10%, saying that it was awarded a contract for multiple WAM-Vs for the delivery of certain allied forces. Very interesting wordage in here, certain allied forces of vehicles, integrated sensors, and operators as a contractor-owned, contractor-operated delivery for spring. That's right here, spring 2025. Terms were not disclosed. They build recent commercial success in its vehicles and power buoys for autonomous maritime domain awareness, counter unmanned underwater vehicles, and mine countermeasures solutions in North America, Latin America, and in the Middle East. They got a contract. All right, Glenn, the stuff we give away were the things we were mothballing. Were they just sitting in storage? Yo, these Patriots ain't cheap, and I'm thinking Raytheon is making a lot of money off of that. All right, a lot of money. So I hear you now. We gave lots of aid to the Ukraine for weapons produced in the United States, and we gave a lot of aid, and it was aid. It wasn't a loan. We gave them aid, a lot of money in aid. But now I love the idea that they're willing to purchase the Patriots. All right, so Pennywise says, yet the weapons that were old and mothballed. Well, I'm seeing more real estate stocks showing up in my Unisearch. Have you seen that? I've seen that. I'm not sure as of why right now. When you look at interest rates, you look at possible inflation going up. I'm not sure why real estate is on the move yet. I got to look into that. I'm not sure why that's going on. But maybe we'll look at that today. You remember the story I did last week about McDonald's missing bigly on the same store sales? How about Wendy's? Wendy's gains after JP Morgan turns bullish on the restaurant stock. Is it because the meat is supposed to be fresh and not frozen? Are people moving away from McDonald's and into Wendy's? You know there's a war going on with all of the restaurants. Everybody's doing a $5, $6, $7 meal deal. All right, but I think that even with that, people are not eating out nearly as much as they used to. So the kids want. How many of y'all? You know I like to do off-topic stuff. How many of y'all, when you said to your mama, you said, "Mama, I want McDonald's," and your mama says, "I can make you McDonald's at home." How many of y'all heard that? And by the time you get home and your mama makes you some of that McDonald's, you be looking at that going, "That don't look like McDonald's." Your mama would sit there. That's just as good as McDonald's. Just type of one in the room if you've been to that. All right, if you've been to that, listen. I am from the hood. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to say it. But my mama used to tell me that I can make you McDonald's at home. And my mama used to say to me, before anybody else was out there on TV saying it, my mama would be the first one to say, "I brought you in this world, and I'll take you out." All right, my mama did that to me a long time before it was brought up on TV and out there. My mama said that. Ooh-wee, I brought you in this world, and I'll take you out. And my mama used to say, I may be short, but I carry a tall stick. To this day, my mama's passed. You know something? And I might say something, and I still, to this day, sit back and go, if my mama heard me say that, all right? So I'm just saying, sometimes I do off-topic stuff. It is what it is. But it's interesting that JP Morgan turns bullish on the stock. The positive view on Wendy's also factored in significantly, de-risking the achievement of near-term comparable sales expectations because McDonald's in-store sales fell. All right, McDonald's in-store sales fell. Maybe they're not looking for that for Wendy's. Interesting story after watching last week. McDonald's got a beat up on same store sales. All right, this is a stock I got my eye on, and I actually took a piece of this. Anytime you can get a positive story, John says, "Does your mom watch you on YouTube?" Only if they got YouTube in heaven. You know, they might have some YouTube on heaven, but I'm sure that they filter out all the bad stuff. So. Immutep cancer treatment shows high survival rate. This was a good enough story that I did buy the news, but I also looked at the chart, but I did buy the news. What I liked about this, the drug combination, there it is, for patients taking a combination of that. I am so not trying to say that. I might say it for Joey just so Joey can laugh as I jack it up. All right, I'm going to try it. A combination of eftilagimod, Have to look a
Swing and
mod.
a miss.
Say again.
Swing and a miss.
Swing. And that was probably any medical people in here. Did I say that right? Did I say that right?
Ain't no way.
And Merck's pembrolizumab, pembrolizumab, drug Keytruda. Any medical people in here? Did I say that right? Shares rose 8% to $1.85 pre-market trading. All right, low dollar stock. Positive news. I did pick some of this up today. It's going to be a short-term trade. I'll talk to you about it when we get to look at the stocks. All right, I'll talk to you when I get to look at the stocks. But I did pick up some of this stock. I think that anytime you have a positive story on cancer, it's not a bad play, but it is going to be a short-term play. Or I'm going to let the look at that. Efeosafo says, yeah, you did good. There you go. Joey's just a hater. But I did pick this up as a short-term trade. Earnings this week, a lot. Right there. Man. TGTX, Palantir, Hims, Ford, just the big names, Celsius, SMCI, AMD, Rivian, Tempest, AI. This is not a bad play. Marriott, Uber, AppLovin, Disney, that's just for you, Jazz. Carvana, one of Ryan stocks, ARM, Peloton, which I think is a horrible stock. Shopify, Coinbase, ConocoPhillips, a quantum stock, Qubits. A lot of stocks coming out this week. I am up here. I know, up $2. I'm in it. I am so in it. My mom threw her chunkless. I can't even say the word right. Chunkless at us could make. Yeah, my mama used to throw whatever she can get her hand on, and then make me go bring it back to her. Ooh, that's the sucky part. After she throws it at me, makes me pick it up and bring it back to her. That's life in Brooklyn. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And IMMP is giving back some today, but we'll keep an eye on it. Troy, I'm sure a lot of it is going to be profit taking because it was a low dollar stock. All right. So we'll see. SMCI will be one to watch. I agree, Pennywise, but we're going to see. All right. So that's all my stories for today. Let's go back to the program. Let's go back to my big news stocks. Now, I told you about IMMP, the stock about cancer. I want to look at that. Look at that. It's up 29% today. RT is above 1. Our VST is below 1. It was price overvalued. This was a news play. I'm not going to lie. This was a news play, but I did look at the stock. Let's view the stock price. I got a couple of things going on. Look at that. Halfway down through the candle, Troy, this is my stop. If it gets down to 214, I'm getting out of the stock. There's a lot of profit taken because the stock's price went up a lot today on the news. Notice that, Troy. The 3.8 on the stock went up. I could have been in nicely before this jump. Look at the 3.8 went up on 423 and it's been riding up since, right? The 3 and the 8 have been. The stock is leveled out a little bit. This is why I like trying to find stocks when the 3 first crosses above the 8. All right, so I'm just showing you that. But that's my stop right there. Again, short-term play. If it runs, let it run. But that's my stop right now, about halfway down this candle at 214. So now I'm not telling anybody to get into it now. I told you that I got into it, but there's my stop. RTX is dealing with strike by employees. Oh, that I did not hear. But let's go look at RTX, down a little bit today. But about the Patriot missiles, from a defense play, where are they? Bouncing off support. 3 and 8 is in place. What am I looking for? I got 2 levels of resistance to look for. This swing high right here, about 130, and then this 3-month high at about 137. All right, so from the news, I wouldn't buy it today. You know me. I'm never going to buy on a down day, so I wouldn't buy it today. But I do see that it's in a channel. It's stopping today right at that 130.45 range of resistance. I do see that it's overvalued, but I think with all the defense stocks and all the defense news, look at that. Value is rising, still overvalued. By the way, how many of you enjoyed the undervalued video this week? All right, just type a 1 in the room. We were watching a lot of stocks that are moving that are overvalued. A customer in the chat said it would be ideal to look at stocks that were undervalued. All right, so I decided to do that from Friday's video. Just to put that out to you. I just wanted to know how many of you enjoyed that. It's a little flip from what we've been seeing, right? Glenn, how do you feel about ITA defense ETF? I'm glad you said that. Notice that ITA is in my list. I also have defend in my list. Top 2 stocks in here, right? By way of VST. Look at that. Interesting. Let's go look at them both. View the stock. ITA is a non-leverage. Look at that run. Woo! ITA may be a better play right now than defend, which is triple leverage. But look at that move. ITA, again, you know how I feel about defense stocks. Is this defense stock the better play right now? Non-leverage. I do like that. Nice video. I also made that Unisearch. Thank you. You're very welcome, Jerry. RTX Pratt & Whitney segment is where the strike is. Thank you, Pennywise. I appreciate that. All right. Chris says it was nice to see VectorVest come back to its roots of undervalued rising in price. Again, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to step back and do that. So I'm glad you enjoyed the video. If you hadn't watched it yet, I invite you to go watch it. We see a lot of overvalued valued stocks that are rising. I needed to take it back, and a customer brought me down and pretty much to level and said, how about undervalued stocks? And that's why I did that video. All right. But look at that. This ITA, I may actually like it better than defense, but defense is on the move too. Defense is on the move too. Let me just go draw another freehand line. Actually, I can draw this. Not that. Stay there. I put a buy point on here. There's my buy point, 28.16. If you were watching, and look at that. Would you be a happy camper based upon what I already told you? Yes or no? Would you? And this is why I start marking up stocks so we can go back and see when we said what. Look at that. Buy point was 28.16. Did anybody pay attention to that? Yes or no? Did anybody pay attention to that? Yes or no? And look at that. From that buy point, look at that. I'm going to give you another buy point. All right? And if you don't listen, that's on you. I'm going to give you another buy point at the high. We're not far from it. I'm going to give you a buy point of 34.88. I'm going to put that in here. 34.88. If you don't listen to it, that's up to you. Buy point 34.88. I'm going to put BP for buy point 34.88. There you go. And I did it. And I want you to, I'm doing it before the fact. There's my new buy point, 34.88. Right at that level of resistance. I should make it higher than that. 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Let's go make it 93. 5 cents higher than that point. 34.93. All right. And I'm liking that we are drawing this up on here, right? Because when we come back and look at the graph again, you can see what I said earlier. Trending higher, more volatile as you can see, but there's RT above 1 and rising. I would like to see more conviction behind the move. I would, because volume, it was just a day ago the volume jumped, but there it is. All right. Defend IT, I would say ITA, I would look at 12 cents higher than the high right now. All right, so these are a lot of the stocks that made the news. Oil is getting its butt kicked. What was that other stock? OPTT. You done with OPTT? Let's go look at the stock graph on it. So they got a contract. Look at the gap up on good volume. RT is still below 1. I need to really see RT go above 1. I'll put that note. Need to see RT greater than 1. I'm putting that up right here. All right. I really need to see that. It's got a ways to go. So that was news driven. They got the contract. I got a level of resistance. This is a cheap stock at about 60 cents. I can find you probably a better stock to get into. This is news driven. Just be careful with this one. I do like that earnings is getting less worse. What's up, Michael? So I'm not sure I really want that right now, but it's news driven. All right. What time is it? Yeah, I don't know if I want to. Let's go see. Oh, let's go see where the money is. Let's go see where the money is going. Earnings. Oh, let's go look at earnings first. Here's all of the stocks from the earnings. Jen is right. Hit the like button. You want to see a lot of stocks of your stocks today? Excuse me. Hit the like button. If you don't, it's up to you. up to you. Sorry I missed you at Charlotte. Michael, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna hopefully get to do this again somewhere. Glenn, does it give you pause that ITA Defense ETF is too close to all-time highs? Great question. All right, let's go back to graphs. Let's go look at ITA. So the answer to your question is no. And the reason why I say the answer to your question is no, Sugarfoot. ITA. The reason why I say that is because the space is on the rise. The space is not only a rise here, the space is on the rise globally. If we go to a 1-year high, let's just go to a 1 year. I'm going to tell you that the stock is doing exactly what I want it to do, which is go up in price. Put behind it the need for other countries to get into and bolster their defense. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid of it being at its all-time high. That's a great question, though. That is a great question. All I'm going to tell you is go 12 cents higher than the high. I got a level of support. If it falls below that after I'm entered or this level of trend, I'll get out of it. All right. So does that make sense? Does that make sense, Edward? It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. And since the new administration has come in and you see more news about countries bolstering up their defense, DFEN has been doing it. ITA has been doing it. Non-leverage. I'm fine. All right, I am fine. So is it time to get into DRIP? DRIP may not be a bad play. Let's go look at DRIP. If oil is going to take a bath, DRIP may be the not yet though. Let the trade come to you. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. I'm not ready yet. I do have a level of support. Great question about DRIP though. There's my level of support. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a couple of things right now. Who put that about DRIP? That was smack this. Smack this. Let the chart come to you. So the news is saying that OPEC is going to flood the market with oil. That should drive our oil prices down. Should, right? With that being said, what am I looking for? I got a level of support. Let's see if we can bounce. Watch the 3 and the 8. Watch RT. Does that make sense, smack this? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? The news is the news. But let the trade come to you. Let the chart come to you. Type of yes or a no if that makes sense. I like being able to take a news-driven story, use the power of the VectorVest software to determine whether or not, just like that OPTT story. All right, I used the VectorVest software to say I'm not ready to get into it, but it was news-driven. DRIP, I think, is going to have a quicker turnaround in regards to the bounce. I'm telling you, EUAD and NATO are great for getting exposure to non-U.S. defense stocks. Well, NATO, that story was a NATO story that countries are trying to get down on the Patriot missile. So that's what I'm looking for before I take DRIP. So I'm not ready yet. Let's at least wait for the 3 to cross above the 8, and let's wait for RT to get above 1. Good question, though. All right, let's go back to my viewers. Earnings this week. I think a lot of these stocks are going to beat, but not all of them. And I don't know which ones are not going to beat. I'm not going to do today the earnings graph, but I'm looking at Crocs, stocks that are moving higher prior to earnings this week. HIMS I like to keep my eyes on. Gold I want to keep my eyes on. I don't know why Kronos. I'm not into weed right now. Just not. Shopify. Let's do this. Crocs, HIMS, Uber, AMD, Gold, Palantir, Disney. I hate that. NVO, Shopify, Axon I like. SoundHound, ARM, Coin, Oxy, SMCI. There's a lot of stocks. Lucid, Hut. Mara's in here somewhere too. There's Hut and Mara was in here. I swore they were, but maybe not. All right, right click, view the stock graph. I'm going to do this real quick though. I'm going to pull up my earnings graph. Crocs, nice bump up. But look at the rising earnings growth, rising sales growth. I think they beat earnings. I think sales growth. I think they beat revenue. It's going to be guidance. HIMS. Rising earnings growth, rising sales growth. Volumes coming in. RS a little lower. I'm a little mixed on this. Interesting. You would think that it's been so hot that it should blow earnings out of the water. I'm watching earnings per share over the last 3 months fall. But earnings growth is there, sales growth is there. The engine and the fuel. Maybe I think the momentum says they beat both. I'm not sure about the guidance. Uber. Ooh, rising earnings, falling earnings growth. Ooh, earnings growth, though, is still at 43, but falling. But Uber's killing it. Look at that. The volume is not there. It's not like a lot of people are super interested in it. Interesting. Relative safety is is higher than it was 3 months ago, but still below 1. I'd watch for guidance on that. AMD, I'm not feeling that. I like the move up, but look at that. Earnings per share, earnings growth. Only thing that's got going for him is sales growth. Relative safety is a little lower than it was 3 months ago. That's going to be an interesting story right there. I don't like the falling earnings and the falling earnings growth. I don't know if they I think they miss one, whether it's earnings or revenue. I think that they miss on one. All right, gold. Rising earnings per share, earnings growth is a little lower. That's only because it pulled back a little bit. Volume is falling off. Relative safety is higher. I think they beat. Let's go to Palantir. Rising earnings growth, rising sales growth, rising everything. I think they beat and they blow guidance out the water. That's what I think. I always keep in mind, though, I'm not the guy sitting in the room. Look at that. I've given you 2 buy points on this stock, and the stock has just killed it each time. 2 buy points. Look at the trend. Trade the chart. Trade the chart. The chart is saying rock and roll is here to stay. But I like all the fundamentals behind it. I think they beat. I think they keep getting the contracts. And I think that the guidance is going to be good. Again, I might be wrong on some of this stuff. Believe you me. All right, the guidance will really set back AMD and NVIDIA. You just saw what I said about AMD. That's a tough call right there. That AMD is going to be a tough call. Disney, earnings falling, earnings growth rising. Relative safety falling. People are interested. Volume is there. What do I think? I don't like falling earnings. I think Iger is the best guy that got right now to get through all of the bad stuff and all the negative publicity. The sales growth is falling. I can't call it. Look at the trend of the stock. Look at the rebound. I can't call it. But I am looking at the relative safety is below 1. That tells me it's half and half. All right. Novo Nordisk, they got drugs in the pipeline, and they still got the GLP, the whole GLP thing, rising earnings growth, rising sales growth. They're selling stuff. Look at the relative safety, the ability to meet or exceed earnings expectations. Relative safety is at 1.14. I know you can't see it, but I apologize for that. 1.14. At least it's still above 1. So I think they beat up, down, and guidance. I think they beat. Now, always remember, I'm just looking at a graph. I don't have an indicator for guidance, just on the fundamentals. All right. Shopify. I'm looking at the graph. I'm looking at the fundamentals. Tough call again. They might miss on one. Axon. Rising earnings growth is flat. Sales growth, they're moving stuff. It's still up there. They're not really all that excited about it from a volume perspective. Relative safety is back and forth. This is going to be a guidance play for me. I think they beat earnings and revenue. This is going to be a guidance play for me. All right. I'm not going to look at all of these because we're running out of time. We are SoundHound. Woof. By way of on paper, I think they miss both. On paper, look at that. Earnings is falling. Earnings growth is falling. Volume is falling. Relative safety is rising. I think on paper, they beat both or miss one. Or AI is not dead. All right, AI is not dead, but are they a major player anymore? That's going to be the story. Are they? We'll see. It's amazing because half my Palantir shares were bought at 780. Upstart, if you also can. Did I put Upstart in here? Let's see. There's ARM. I'm doing this one for Ryan. Rising earnings, falling earnings growth, rising sales growth, RS falling and below. Mixed data. I do like the trend. I do like that it's in an uptrend. But I got mixed data. I don't know. I don't know. Is Upstart in here? Did I put Upstart in here? I don't know. Let's go put Upstart and then we're going to move on. UPST, Upstart, rising earnings growth, rising sales, rising volume. RS below. That's my only thing. Upstart, I like the trend. I think they beat both top and bottom. I think that they beat both top and bottom. We got to see what happens with guidance. All right, so sound isn't very attractive to me now. Aloha, Glenn and VV Nation. Thank you for your awesome videos. Thank you, Mike. All right, that's all of the stocks we're going to look at. Glenn, how do you recommend to play Palantir over earnings? Great question. Let's go look at Palantir. PLTR. I'm holding through it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, if you're not sure, don't hold it. It's right at resistance. If you're not in it, I wouldn't take it yet. If you're in it, I'd just put a stop. I got to put a stop. And right now, I got a couple of ways to help you stop out. If the 3 crosses below the 8, if the green goes below the red or breaks through the trend line, that's your opportunity to get out. All right. Does that make sense, Edward? Recommend you play. There you go. Now, if you're not in it, I'm not going to tell you to get into it today because it's earnings. If you are in it, those are the 2 things that I'm looking for you to take profits on. Does that make sense, Edward? Does that make sense to everybody in the room when it comes down to Palantir? I'm holding it. And as you saw, there's some people in the room who are holding it as well through earnings. But God forbid something bad happens. If the 3 crosses below the 8 or breaks through the trend line, that's a good opportunity to take it off the table. Everybody understand that? What did you say? Put at a 90 strike? No. Why 90? Selling a put at 90? Yeah, because if something, that's way out of the money. It's way out of the money. And if it breaks down below that $90, you get it put to you at a low price. I don't know if I would do 90. What is it, 120? Why not? You want it cheap. I wouldn't do 90. You're not going to get as much premium as if you sell the 100. I would think about selling the 100. You might get more premium for that, number one. And number two, that's a $25 move. That's a $25 move. If you want to buy it cheap at 90, man, the stock's got to get killed. And that would work out well for you. I don't think the stock gets killed. That's my 2 cents. Now, you might be right, and I may be crazy, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. And I think if you put that's a low price. All right. The right answer with Jarvis Wine. There you go. Listen, even getting that at 100, Eduardo, may not be a bad thing, but you're really looking for it at 90. You're not going to get a lot of premium for selling it though, because you're way out of the money. You're not. So just understanding, if you're okay with the premium you're getting, then that might be fine. All right. All right. How many likes did we get? We only got 6 minutes. How many likes did we get? 7. Tell you what I'm going to do. I wanted to see where the money was going today. There it is. Where's the money going? Money, I think, is going to go into gold. Michael says, I sold a put at Palantir at 95. Oh, you got $4.10 for it? So you might just get a little less than that. You might get like 380. You might get 380. I'm not sure. Y'all didn't listen. Did I say put stocks in here yet? Did I say it? Y'all going to make me start yelling. 410. Oh, $410. Wait, you made $410. Okay, I got you. Y'all still putting stocks in here. Where's the money going to that? I think money's going to be going to gold. And there it is. The bearish side of natural gas and gold. Jets is up. Where's the money not going? The money's not going to natural gas or to Bitcoin. Look at that. Or natural gas or oil. Those are the things that are getting hit the most. All right. Since nobody was listening, now you're going to have to type it all over again. I'm going to give, we got 7 stocks. I'm going to give new people, only the new people, I want some stocks from you. Only the new people, I want some stocks from you. I'm going to take you EF or so. ASM, comma, NGD, comma, new people. Smack this, you ain't new. I want new people. New people. If you don't type in, then this is all I'm going to give for the new people. You're not new today, Michael. I know you. Going once. Bernard, there we go. IESC, comma, Jake, Glenn, are you going to watch the Celtics tonight? Damn right, because they're playing the Knicks. Gotta love Billy Joe. There you go, Mike. All right, that's too many, FEO. You giving me too many. All right, new people going once, going twice, 3 times sold. All right, new people only wanted a couple of stocks. And then Patrick comes in. Dang it, Patrick. You got to listen. PDEX, I'll put that in. Comma, Matthew, claim. Is that a real stock? No, it's not a real stock. Why did you put claim in there? Lee is not new. All right, there we go. Nope. All right, fine. This is all the stocks for the new. No, I keep asking y'all wait and wait and wait. Nobody's listening. Alex said hymns. Damn it. That's it now. I'm trying to give y'all. Now I got Marie. Sigh. All right, that's it. Let's go look at these. These are for the new people. Let's go take a look at the new people stocks. Wow, nice move on the IESC. Wrong graph layout, though. Let's go to my layout. Where is it? MPIYT. No. PB graph YT. Why is that taking so long to show up? What the flying flip is that? There we go. Let's go back. IESC, I like the undervalued. Value is trending down, now trending higher. I like the volume. I don't like the earnings per share. It wouldn't stop me from getting into it. I like that it broke through this level of resistance. I'm going to now create another level of resistance right at the swing high. We're not far from it. RT is above 1. I'd look to see us go 12 cents higher than the high. That's my buy point. If you're in it, leave it alone. I like it's above the stop. I got a trend line here that I can draw. I do have a trend line. All right. It's so far away, though. I'm going to add a moving average. I'm going to add exponential. I'm going to put an 8 moving average. Where's it at? There it is. That gives me an earlier spot to get out because the price has moved away from the trend line so much. I would trade it off the 8. I would trade it off the 8 exponential. Let me make that a little darker. Change the style. Let's make that a little. I would trade it off the 8 exponential. Look at that, because the price is so far away from the trend line. That would be my point to get out. All right. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance. What else is in here? ASM. Silver's back on the rise. New 3-month high, undervalued. RT is still up there. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm looking at 5 cents higher than the high. All right. As long as uncertainty looms in the world of tariffs, gold may be back on the run again. Next one. Another gold stock broke through a level of resistance. Probably going to test it again like it did here as a level of support. Closed candle, yes, today, Friday, a red candle. I needed to break above that high. If I'm not already in it. Hims broke through resistance. Man, trend line is there if I want to draw it. Trend line is there. I would also put an 8 exponential on there as well. All right, it's already on there. I would use the 8 exponential as a way to get out. RT is below 1. So HIMS is moving, but it's not officially in an uptrend. See that? I'd be careful with this. I like that 8 as a way to get out. I like that 8 exponential as a way to get out. So I'm watching, not officially in an uptrend. Pete, no. There's nothing I like about that. And it's below the 8. And it broke. No, I'm not feeling that. RT's below 1. Long-term earnings per share looks good, but right now it doesn't look like the time. A lot of selling pressure on today's candle. AI, I do like the trend. All right, but it's begrudgingly moving up, kind of sideways right now. All right, at a level of resistance right there. Look at that, right at a level of resistance. RT is not above 1 and earnings is falling. Long term, I don't like it. RT short term doesn't tell me that I'd like to be in it. It's right at resistance. I do like that the price has moved enough to move from a sell to a hold. I need to get above 23.05. All right, if I'm in it, use the trend line, use the 8. Right now, look at that. It's really close to the 8. If it breaks down below the 8, you might want to take it offline. All right, you might want to take it offline. That's the last stock. All right, now I'm going to give, how many stocks was that? I'm going to give you 8 stocks for the people, my regular people, 8 stocks. All right, here we go. PLX, you wanted TRV. What else did you want? GN, LN, comma C, comma Microsoft, comma, I got travel in there already for you, CM, comma GPUS. All right, let's go see how many stocks is that. Let me give you 8. I need one more, GRND. GRND. All right, let's go peep these out. Where do they all stand as far as recommendation? One sell. GNLN is a sell recommendation. Citigroup as a hold. Everything else is a buy. Let's go peep out what's going on. Travel Zoo, or the Travelers, Travel Zoo. I do like the move. New 3-month high, undervalued. I do like the move up. And how did that happen? And it's right there at the 8. I really don't need the 8 on this. I could use the trend line if it breaks below the trend line. I do like the rising earnings per share. RT is above 1. I like the play. I like that play. But I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high before I get in. 12 cents higher than the high. GPUS, no. That's news. One day, you know what the interesting thing about this big move? The wick at the top is not half bad with all of this body. That means a lot of people are not giving it back. But you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking to see if we can get above that high. Would I be mad at you if you got into it today? No, only because not a lot of give back. I'm going to give you a stop about halfway through that stock, sitting at about 592. That would be my stop. That's a big parabolic move. It'd be kind of crazy if you got into it today. I don't think it might capture that and move higher. All right, report looks good on GPS, but the stock, look at the stock. That's just one day. One day doesn't make a trend. Glenn, you didn't pick GPN is in the list. Oh, it should be. I think it is. I think it is. If it's not, I will. I think it's in the list. Stop spamming it. That's probably why. If you keep spamming it, I'm probably going to bypass it. All right. If not, I'm going to take a look. Portalox, a stock that I've liked. I love that it's as a bio undervalued with rising value. If I'm watching it right now, if I'm in it, look at that. It's crossing below the 8 exponential moving average. You're either going to hold it through that or wait to this level of support. If it breaks down through that level of support, where's the trend line? Look at that. It's already breaking down through the trend line. You're already getting flags on PLX. So just keep that in mind. All right. But you've got the 8 that it's about to cross, and you got a level of support. It already broke through the trend line. So just keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one. Microsoft, right at a 3-month high. It gapped up and stayed up there. You know what concerns me? Will it fade the gap? Look at that. Will it fade the gap? That was your swing. There's the 3. I love the open candle. This is your headwinds, though. This is your headwinds right here, and it's stopping right there. I am saying if you're in it, there's my level of getting out. Once stocks like to fade the gap. We'll see if it does or not. Nice open candle, very little wick. Love the earnings per share, but I'd just be careful with it right now. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, I'm looking for it to break above that level of resistance. Next one, grind I like. You know what I don't like? Earnings per share. But the stock is moving. The stock is doing what the stock is going to do. All right, earnings per share, remember, this forecasted earnings. Look at that. I like the trend line, but I also like the 8. That's a good stock if you've made money on it. Long term, though, watch earnings per share, okay? And it still is overvalued and value is falling, but the stock is trending higher. The stock is trumping everything else. You like that word? Trumping everything else. Hitting an all-new high, but I got a big wick at the top. I've got an 8 exponential to get out of. I've got a trend line to get out of. That's what I'm looking to close out of the position. Will tomorrow be the tell? I don't know. I think it's gonna start with the earnings, especially the AMD and all of those stocks that are gonna have big. They're gonna go way big on the market. That's what I'm looking for. Same thing with CM. Beautiful, nice rise. Beautiful, nice rise. And there's the 8 exponential moving average. Love the earnings per share. Fundamentally sound. Undervalued. Value starting to rise, but still lower than it was 3 months ago. RT is above 1, starting to curl over. Watch the 8 exponential moving average. Hey, how many of you have started initiating using the 3 and or the 8 exponential moving average in your charts? Just type a 1. How many of you have started initiating using the 3 and or the 8 exponential moving average in your charts? Just type a 1. All right. Just type a 1. All right. With that being said, again, undervalued, buy recommendation. Watch the 8. Watch the 8. All right. As a way to get out. And then you also have the trend line. Good. I'm glad I see a lot of 1s. Same thing with Citigroup. It actually went down through its trend line. All right. But it's approaching the 8. It's still above the 8. Nice open day, very little wick at the top of the candle. Love the earnings per share. RT is above 1. I wouldn't be afraid of it. If you're in it, leave it alone. Is it bad to hold PLX? It's so undervalued for the long run. Listen, did we not just look at the chart on it, Lee? All right, the chart says right now it broke down through the trend line. It's about right there at the 8. I got 1 flag, 2 flags, 3 flags. There you go. All right. Is it bad? I just got 3 flags for you. I need that 3rd flag for me to say get out. Does that make sense, Lee? That's what I'm looking for. GNLN. No, I think they got bought. That's what it looks like. I think they got bought. Citigroup. What was the one that you said I didn't put in here? GPN. Let's go look at GPN and then we gotta go. GPN. I do like the rise. It's above the 8. I don't like long-term what's going on. You know what I need to have happen here? I like that it's undervalued, but value is falling as well. What I'm looking for, if you really want to get into this stock, I do like that it's fading the gap. There's the gap, and it started fading the gap. That's a great sign. All right? I really am looking for RT to get above 1. I'm looking for RT to get above 1. All right? Hi, John. I like Canadian banks. I cannot lie. Those other banks can't deny. No, John, I looked at more stocks than what you gave me likes for today. Glenn, the 8 is the 8 exponential average built on 8 days or 8 weeks. In this case, is 8 days. I'm looking at my look back period is end of day, so that's an 8-day exponential moving average. Heard the news, Kilauea in Hawaii coming up with an eruption, heading there tomorrow. We missed our eruption. We were there. We got back on the boat, and about 2 hours later, it erupted. So we missed it. All right, that's all the stocks for today. There we go. Hey, hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you, Joey. All right, and if you don't hit the like button, I know where you live. I'm coming to find you. OMG, I can't say that because somebody's going to be like, OMG, you just threatened us. I didn't threaten you. It was a joke. Goodness gracious. It's a joke. Don't make me get angry up in here. All right, hit the like button if you haven't already. Did somebody take away a like? Somebody took away a like and then put it back. Hit the like button. I'm in New Jersey. Please come here. I would love to. You know, I'm from New York. I used to live in Jersey, a couple of different places in Jersey, preferably in northern Jersey because it was close to New York. All right. With that being said, I gotta go. I gotta go record a video for tonight. I think I gotta give you my top weekly picks for the U.S. and Canadian market. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, Joey. Thank you for being here in the background and being quiet. Because any other time you be jumping in here and be saying stuff because you're a hater. Always remember, there's good people in the world, Joey. With that being said, folks. When will the RT and BSR turn green? When they show up on the homepage in the color guard, my friend A Fox. They got to be higher week over week. And they got to be higher week over week and day over day in order to get the green light. All right. Nancy, where's Jerry? Is Jerry here too? Nancy and Jerry. Jerry, are you here? Brother and sister group that I met in Tampa. Brother and sister group that I met in Tampa. So it is awesome when you guys show up and I get to remember I saw your face somewhere, whether it was at the most recent road show or in Tampa. All right, folks, gotta go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. I need to go back to Hawaii next week. Next week! Always remember, there's always good people in the world. If you can't find one, be one. Odabu. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.